Hi. Working with layers, especially in the Photoshop world, is a little bit of a nightmare for some people, so I thought I'd do something based on layers on an image, a wedding image, which I took yesterday actually, and thought it would be a handy thing to just explain how we use layers in a typical professional way. So let's get the image in. So the image I've got in mind is this one. Let's see if we can. Okay, here we go. Right, so there's quite a few bits and pieces on here that I want to change. I could do it here in the raw converter, which probably help me a little bit, and then we'll get onto layers properly. So first of all, we need to straighten this image up. So I'm going to straighten it up straight away. Just find a straight edge somewhere around there, and that should just about be right. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. So there's a few people in the image and so on, which we need to get rid of, which we'll do as part of our layers explanation as such. All right, here we go. So I'm going to open the image now into Photoshop. And here we go. All right. Okay, here we go. So the image is now in Photoshop. I'm actually going to do a copy of this image to start off with straight away, so duplicating purely because there's a lot of work to be done here, and I'd like to come back a little bit later on and show you what we've done. Now what I'm going to do is bring up just a small, let's go in red. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just going to give it a bit of a brush, and we can mark where it is that we're trying to work on. So this area here, she's got to go, he's got to go, that person sitting on the bench has got to go. I don't think we're going to get over here. We're going to crop in a minute, and in general, yeah, that's about it. These people here aren't going to be part of the shot, as I'm planning to crop sort of maybe there, and that pole a bit of left hand side, so something like this. So that's the crop that's got in mind, if that makes sense. All right, let's go. Let's see what we can do. So let's come up with, first of all, the cropping of it. So when you crop, you're cropping the whole image, because it is an image crop, so it's not taking part of the image, it's the whole image. I'm going to try and keep it in the same ratio as taken, which is obviously 2:3. So let's go something like this, maybe, and come down a bit, and I'm going to throw them over to the right. So that fella's going to be in it after all. Well, not for long. Here we go. So if you imagine that as a crop, which is quite tidy, a little bit of work to be done. Okay, yep, happy with that. And that's the crop. All right, so I'll bring my little, so you can see, other than the crop line, I've still got a few bits and pieces to get rid of. I've got this person here, that one, and that one. Okay, all right. So the whole concept now is you work on a layer base. I'm going to duplicate this layer, so we've got two copies of it again, I know, to work on this. And so I'm working on now this layer, which is layer copy 2. And this is just, let's call this removal. Or remove. Yeah. Nope, that's not how you spell remove, right? There you go. Alright. So that's now being, hold on a second, let's get rid of you so they go away. Right, okay, so this is going to be the removal one. So first of all, if I zoom in on her, he's obviously enjoying the weather out there. This is a straightforward stamp, so I'm going to use the stamp tool, bring it down in size a bit. And so what we're doing is we're going to take away her body here, but by copying this into it. hold down Option or Alt, and could have used a softer brush, would have been nice, I suppose. Let's go to softer brush, and let's change the opacity down to say 50%, and leave the flow where it is. Okay, here we go again. Right, so that's better. So I can see what I'm doing. Yep. So because the opacity is at 50%, you've got to basically go over it 2 or 3 times to get rid of it, but you see the principle works. Now we've got a line out of alignment here, so let's copy this line, see if we can get back on track. So this line's okay. Keep on going. Hopefully, yeah, it looks like it's coming in. Yeah. So top part smallest done. Yeah, that line's good. So then I'm gonna copy from this side this time. Oops. Let's try that again. Copy from here. Draw on the line there, and there we go. So we've got a fair bit of work to do. Just make sure these little bits go. In here, obviously trying to make sure that we don't see anything going on in here. I'm going to bring the opacity up a bit because it's having to do a lot of work here. Oops. Bit tricky, but still getting there. As you can see, it's a labor of love. You've got to really and truly understand what it is you're trying to do with the image, but sometimes it just works out. That's it. Do a little bit of a tidy up here. And a little bit there. And some here. And we're more or less there. There's a few things around the edge here, which would be handy to get rid of. Right. That was a towel. I've got still pieces of green there, but you get the whole point. There we go. So from an image point of view, happy with that. And then this gentleman here is got to go. So if I'm right, he's got Billy behind him. And Billy is the dog statue. So we're going to have to do something a bit special on this one, but in general, we can play with it until we... So basically what we're doing is mixing it up, getting rid of him bit by bit, which is not really working the way I'd like it to work, but I'm going to use one of these selection tools just simply to go around the area so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm actually going to take Billy out of this one because I haven't got another picture of him to put it in. There we go. So basically we're working on this area here. Now, looking at this, I suppose the best thing to try and do is maybe using the stamp tool again, copy from here and come through to there, if that works, and then try and works well because now we've got an edge there. Alright, so what we need to do is move Billy totally. Let's just see what we've got up here. Okay. So because I've selected it, obviously it's working only in the selected area. I just wanted to see what we could get from it. I'm happy with that because it means that we've got room to work. So, okay. Take selection off, so now we're completely without the selection. I'll open this up a bit. A bigger brush from here, and now need to line this up perfectly, and I think we'll be alright. Yep, there we go. So now that bit's done, in essence, and that bit's done. This is becoming a little bit longer than one assumed, but it's okay. Let's just see what we can come up with. Okay, here we go. We've got to fix up the rocks, but we'll get into that in a sec. Okay, and just to make that edge look a little bit better, something like that. So all this time what I've been using is just the stamp tool, stamping it, selecting from one area and cutting across. And it does work beautifully, you just gotta be a little bit patient. And there we go, so that grass area is done. The rocks here will take a little bit of time, but let's just see what we can do. We'll copy from here, remove that piece there. I will have some repetition to deal with because, as you can see, it's going to repeat what I've copied it from. But once again, we can play with that until we get that right. Okay, got something going on down here. All right, happy with that. And lastly, in the water here. Okay, so that's how you remove the man and spot the dog. What I'm going to do as I'm here is use the patch tool to mix this up a bit. So by circling an area, I can stop it from being very, very repetitious as such. So I've grabbed that there, I'm going to put it over here, which gives us a little bit of a different edge. Okay, that's not as repetitive. The top here, can't do much with this actually. Let's try something. Oh, this is bad. Okay. Alright, so in general, there's a piece here. We use the patch tool to see if I can sort that out. And that works well too. And then we've got these little things here, which I don't think repeats that much in the shot itself. So we'll just copy them. Try and find similar. So there we go. Alright, almost done. Well, this one here, this looks like a similar type of area over here. So again, using the stamp tool, this time I'm going to stamp it here and click it over here. Now I'll actually use close on to, let's say, 90% to do this. So again, stamp here. Actually, stamp is complicated. Right here. And bring that about there. I'm not worried about the post so much, I'll sort that out in a second, but there we go. He's gone. It looks like we've carried that through, which is lovely. And now for the post, I'll probably need a harder brush now to get that edge right. So we copy from that here and just get the edge right. I bring that in. Gonna play a little bit, but there you go. So if I use my patch tool, just tidy that up, tidy up the edges. That'll do. That's fine. Okay. All right. Our couple's looking pretty hot, looking good there. I like this. So as an image, then the whole point is we've got rid of a lot of what we wanted to get rid of. Now let's put an edge around it. So first things first, happy with that, so I'm going to just duplicate that again. So this is now a copy of a copy as such, but we're on this one again just to show you the difference of it. What I will do is then use an elliptical tool, and actually no, could do it either way. Let's go square. So it's a rectangular square. We need to give it a feather, so I'm going to give it a feather of say 20 pixels. Let's test that out, and counter around here, so trying to just get the sort of middle part of the image. Happy with that. It's giving it a nice little feather going around the edge. And now, just to have a little bit of fun, I'm going to inverse that. So now the selection's in here, and because there's a feather on it, I'm going to use a Control or Command L, which is for levels, and come in from this bit, come across, and just darken up the inner piece there. There we go. A little bit different. I'm happy with that. Here we go. Yep, happy with that. And come in here and deselect. Right, so from an image point of view, I've got the outside the way I'd like it. What I may do is, while I've still got the selection on, make it a little bit darker. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. Here we go. And deselect. Yeah, happy with that. There we go. So from an imaging point of view, when we talk about layers, this layer is obviously the one that's got the edging on it. That layer is what we talked about, removal. And there we have it. So that's playing with layers. So from a finishing point of view, there's no reason for me to have all of these layers now. What I would probably do here is get rid of this one, which is the first copy. I don't need that, which is just basically give me an idea of where I'm going. So I can delete that one. These two I can group. All right, so I would probably group them purely so that I can come back and play with it a little bit more later on. So to group it, what you basically is select both of them and do a Command G, and that's now grouped those two together. So this is now ready to roll. Hope this makes sense. And working, this is the initial thing of working with layers. We can have some more fun with it, but I think that works for you. And I know we'll add other bits and pieces as we go along. So for part one of working with layers, that gives you an idea of working with the layer, the stamp tool. I think I've used the patch tool in there, marquee tool to give us the bordering, as it were, and that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.